Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast. This is your escape for real, unscripted conversations about sports, hobbies, life, and storytelling. No scripts, no forced takes, just Man Cave talk. Now, here's your host, Dan Casper.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Man Cave Podcast. I'm Dan, as always. Thanks for hanging out and checking us out. If this is the first time you are a listener, welcome. Hopefully we can make you a regular listener. If you are a regular listener, hey, thanks for the support. Appreciate it. Don't forget, though, follow, subscribe on Apple and Spotify. 5-star reviews on those help out tremendously. It just takes a few seconds. So if you got a sec to do that, would love it. Would absolutely love it. YouTube video stream. We got a bunch of other stuff going up on the YouTube channel, Man Cave TV. So would love it if you could click that subscribe, that bell button, ring the bell, and get those followers up there too. So would love all the support. Would appreciate all the support, and means more than what you know. So literally just takes a few seconds if you could do that. But what are we going to do on this episode of the Man Cave Podcast? Well, there's a couple things here. So ride solo for this one. So hopefully that doesn't make you turn off the pod and everything. But our latest one, we had Justice on. We were talking Masters and that. And I love the Masters. And I know not everybody's a golf fan and such. Even if golf is the one sport that a lot of people play, but they may not be fans of watching. And I get it. I totally get it. But something about the Masters is just a little bit different. So every year with the Masters, this started with the tradition of Ben Hogan. Was it 50s, 60s? I think it was 62. I think it was when he won in the 50s, but maybe 60s. Anyways, started with tradition of Ben Hogan. And but they would do the Champions Dinner, which is the Tuesday of Masters Week. So we get the menu out like couple weeks beforehand where the defending champion creates the menu and all the champions, have dinner in honor of that champion. This year's Rory McIlroy. So I had a little fun with this, and I created my own Masters dinner. All right, I want to see what you guys and gals would think of that. All right, rate it and such. I will just say is very, and a lot of these too. It's a heavy influence on the culture or their heritage or their upbringing, and mine is definitely that. But that'll be coming up here in just a little bit. But the thing I want to lead off now, this might be kind of weird. All right, but it is the Man Cave Podcast, so we're all about being weird and that sort of thing. But the other night, I was watching Field of Dreams. And I feel like, first of all, Field of Dreams is one of those movies I always kind of forget is just an all-time great until, we know it's a good movie, but then when you rewatch it again, it's like, man, it's still better than I give credit or give it credit. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that, but every time I watch it, I'm like, dang, why don't I watch this more? And I mean, I really enjoyed the movie when I was younger. I remember when it came out, and I liked it, but I feel like it's taken a different feeling, or I appreciate it more, or maybe I even enjoy it more now that I'm a dad myself. Obviously, the very heavy father-son theme throughout the movie, not to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it. If you haven't seen it, where the heck have you been? But I feel now being a dad to a son who loves baseball, and we're into baseball season and such, I feel it's taken on a greater appreciation in my life, if that makes sense. So, and I want to go. Like I know a lot of people who've been to the field and such. I would love to go. I would love to go and throw the ball with my own son on there. I think that'd be really, really cool and be just an awesome experience. But, hoping that happens. Never say never. But I was watching this movie, and again, not to try to give away too much of the plot and that sort of stuff. But obviously, he builds a field and Shoeless Joe Jackson comes. Okay. And I was thinking, okay, what if a voice told me, if you build it, he will come? What if a voice came out there and told me, said, if you build it, he will come? where a sports person would come back to life. Like, who would be the person, the athlete, that I would absolutely, like, would 100%, I guess what I'm trying to say here is, if I heard a voice and it said, if you build it, he will come, what would make me listen to that voice? And I would build this field, I would build this court, I would build this just to see this athlete play. Obviously, it would have to be an athlete that's not around, and it would have to be an athlete that I never got to watch, or a sports person I never got to watch. So, got me thinking here a little bit. A couple of them were pretty easy for me. These are my top 5. My top 5 sports things. I'm just going to leave it like, because I'm trying not to give it away, because I'll be honest, it's not all athletes. But my top 5 sports things that I would, if I had a cornfield, I would bulldoze that thing down and build it up to see these things in action, these people in action. I'll start from the bottom and go up. And it's golf week. It's Masters, right? So number 5 for me, excuse me. If a voice told me, if you build it, he will come, and that meant Bobby Jones was going to be able to come, I would do that. 100% I would do that. If a voice said, if you build it, he will come, and you got to build a golf course, and Bobby Jones is going to come back and play golf, yes. I would love to see Bobby Jones golf. Bobby Jones, I feel like, still gets overlooked, underappreciated, not enough respect and attention for what he does in the golf world, because of he's so dang good. Know your golf history, and maybe we'll do one of those for a Man Cave University, but he is so dang good in the swing. And go watch Bobby Jones' Stroke of Genius. It's a movie. It's a fantastic movie. It's pretty much a biopic about him. But yeah, I would build a golf course, an 18-hole golf course, Masters theme, to watch Bobby Jones play golf at his peak. That would be number 5 for me. Number 4 on my list is, I'm going to go with the Lombardi era Packers. Now, I know maybe for some of our listeners or viewers, they were around and they got to see the Lombardi era Packers. So that would not qualify. I was not. I was around when some are still alive or were alive, but I was not around when they played. And I was not around when Vince Lombardi was around. And honestly, that's kind of where it's mostly at. I would love to see Vince Lombardi strolling the sidelines. So if Vince Lombardi's voice came down and said, if you build it, I will come back. First of all, that'd be cool. But yeah, I would build a football field to see Vince Lombardi back strolling the sidelines and coaching a team of maybe some former All-Stars who are no longer with us. I think that would be awesome. So I put Lombardi's Packers out here, but if I'm being truthful on this, it would mostly be Vince Lombardi and himself. And it kind of relates to my third one. Now, my third one is a little bit different. And this is where I was kind of struggling a little bit, because I was saying things like sports things. It's not straight up athletes or sports figures. But I would love to go watch a game. I don't care if it was Giants football, college football, baseball back in the day. I would love to go watch a game at the Polo Grounds. So I know this one's kind of cheating, because you're not building a baseball field or a football field to see somebody come back. But I'm going to twist the words around and alter the rules here a little bit, and just kind of say, if you build the Polo Grounds, they will all come back. I just, seeing clips and reading about it, I think the Polo Grounds would have been such a cool sports historic venue that it would have been awesome. Would have been awesome to to watch some games. Again, I don't care if it was college football. I don't care if it was football, pro football, or baseball. I've always had this thing about, man, it would have been cool to see the Polo Grounds in action in its heyday. And my kid plays the show baseball, and you could play at the Polo Grounds. And seeing the length of that thing is, whew, that would have been fun to watch. Would have been really fun to watch. So kind of cheating, but that is my third one. Number 2 on my list, and again, these were fairly easy for me, but number 2, I combined it. You could go with the 2070 Yankees Murderers Row, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig. That era, I mean, I would love to see Babe Ruth. I'm a big fan of Lou Gehrig. Over the last couple of years and such, I've grown for a bigger appreciation with Lou Gehrig. So that to me is, like, I would love to see Lou Gehrig. The story of Lou Gehrig, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, the Iron Man, that story to me of a guy, of an athlete who played at the highest level, never missed a game, and his career and his life ends with that type of illness. It's just, that to me is such a sad story, and over the last couple of years, that has really gotten me to kind of, I guess, really open my eyes up more to Lou Gehrig and that, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, it's just, I would love to see Lou Gehrig in action. I would love to see that Yankees team in action. Of course, Babe Ruth. I mean, for crying out loud, it's Babe Ruth, right? So I kind of combined them since they're both teammates and such, but there's your baseball one. If you build it, they will come. Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. So, but number 1 for me, it is 110% Don Hutson. If you build it, he will come. I would love to see Don Hutson play professional football. I want to see that speed. I want to see that Alabama native. I want to see that guy dominate the football field. Don Hutson, 100%. Anybody who knows me, anybody who's been following this, anybody who's been listening to this pod and that knows it is 100% Don Hutson for me. So that's my list. What is your list? Email me, mancavepodmail@gmail.com. Hit me up on YouTube. You can comment below in this video, or Facebook.com/Dan Casper Sports, Instagram, all up there as well. I'd love to know your top 5. So, all right, let's get to the Masters dinner, shall we? Let's do it up. So, again, speaking of the Masters dinner, if, hey, you got a menu that you'd put together, let me know what it is. I'd also like to know your thoughts on the menu that I put together. All right? So, kind of copied, the flow of a typical Masters Champions dinner. My appetizers for this one. Again, it's a very Wisconsin-heavy theme. But I got fresh beer-battered cheese curds served with a side of fresh ranch. Don't have to use the ranch, but fresh beer-battered cheese curds where you pull it apart, they're hot, and, it stretches out. Come on now. When you talk about an appetizer in a Wisconsin theme, it's the cheese curds. I got 2 more appetizers. I'm a big apps guy, all right? Buffalo chicken wings, served with a side of fresh ranch or blue cheese, whatever you choose, all right? Got to go wings. Big wing guy, too. Everybody's a big wing guy, right? And then a little bit of a creativity one, because I had to put this on the menu somewhere. I had to. So I'm going to go with the mini version of some mini beer brats, all right? You got the little smokies. You got little, hot dogs that. I've seen mini brats. Let's get some mini beer brats served with some fresh beer mustard and fresh sauerkraut. Don't have to have the bun. I know there's some, got to save some room. Bread could soak it up a little bit and make you feel a little bit full in that, but we got to go with the mini beer brats, fresh beer mustard, fresh sauerkraut on there. That's your appetizers. Your first course, it's simple. You get 1 trip to the salad bar. It's simple as that. I love a good Caesar salad. That would be on my salad bar. That is a Wisconsin thing. You get 1 trip to the salad bar, right? Every old school fish fry you order, all right, you can take your trip up to the salad bar. First trip to the salad bar, you load up with the salad. You get some pasta salads out of the side. You throw a little cottage cheese on there and such. One trip to the salad bar, bingo. Main course, you get a choice of one of these two options. A Wisconsin walleye fillet, battered. I if you watch or if you follow my Facebook page, it says beer battered, but I'll go battered or pan baked. So the Wisconsin walleye fillet or venison backstrap from a Wisconsin whitetail deer. So you either get the walleye fillet or the venison backstrap. Comes with hash browns and coleslaw. My dessert, I got to go with, I'm a big cheesecake fan. I'm a coconut cream pie fan, and I'm putting my grandma's apple slices, her recipe on those. It's like a tradition every hunting season around the holidays, apple slices. Yes. Apple bars, whatever you call them. We call them apple slices in my family. My grandma makes them, so it's grandma's apple slices. Your beverages, you get a Wisconsin old-fashioned brandy, sour or sweet. A beer of your choosing. I don't want to, everybody's got their own. Me, I'll probably go Busch Light, and then a Victory Scotch on the rocks. So that's my Masters Champions dinner. What do you think how I did? Very heavy Wisconsin culture, Wisconsin feel. But that's like a lot of these Masters Champions dinners, right? It's the heritage. It's where they're from and that. So, all right. Quicker episode of the pod, but hey, I want to hear your menu too. So email it to me again, comment in the video, or hit me up on Facebook and Instagram. But that's going to do it for us on this episode of the Man Cave Podcast. We got more episodes coming this week. Don't forget to hit that follow, subscribe button on YouTube and Apple and Spotify. And if you could, again, 5-star rating, positive review, because it helps out. And I want to hear from you. If you got some random good stories to tell, sports, creepies, collecting, all that stuff, I want to hear it. All right, hit me up with an email. That's the best way. Man Cave Pod Mail. You got an idea for a topic? Again, hit me up. All right, I'm Dan. Next time I'll talk to you. Be on the next episode of the Man Cave Podcast.